So hello everybody, I will present Synergetic Landscapes unit, and I will mainly present actually the unit by what we have been doing last year. With that, please take your own initiative within the unit. You are very much welcome to suggest changes, and this unit will be co-created together with you. So now we will start on the basis what we have done last year, but there are open doors to adapt the unit to your interests, to explore the areas which would be actually your interests, which you would like to develop. So you've seen much of that in the presentation about design research, which I was explaining from today, and we will have a brief introduction to that this afternoon. You will start doing mini maps, which will be mapping your interest within the unit briefs. And you will be walking. We will be located in Cardiff, which is a perfect advantage because you can map your site whenever you want. So you will start doing Grangetown, which is the location city walks, and map the neighborhood and analyze your interests, which you will be exploring in minimaps. You will be collaboratively gigamapping, so we put everything you mapped in your mini-maps to gigamaps, and you will be finding relations across each other. We will be prototyping. Hopefully, if situation allows, placing the prototypes into real-life environment. If not, we will be working with DIY and motivating local people to reproduce your design. So this will be all going in feedback loops as a sort of learning path. So getting to our site. This is our site. This is Grangetown, and the unit will specialize in supporting ecosystem within urban environment. You can see you have several green spaces within the city, and we will be trying to generate biocorridors across the city between those green spots and generate edible and habitable landscape across the species. As mentioned before, the work will be very much teamwork. With that everybody will have their own specialized responsibility within the team that will be based on their interests, and on the same note, you will be also developing your own prototypical intervention within the city. So last year, the responsibilities, there is one that has to be there always, and that's over synergy gigamapping. So there will be actually synergizing all the responsibilities and all the prototypes within to generate one sort of project together. One of you might be specializing in biocorridors in the city. One might be specialized in analyzing human and non-human communities. One can specialize in materials and fabrication techniques, circular economy and blockchain. We can adapt that. We can keep some of that, edit some of that based on what is actually in you. I am very much curious what kind of areas of interest you want to bring in this unit. As said, we will co-create this unit together. So this is these are the responsibilities. This is mapped by last year's students, Yuan, who has been actually finding the relations between all those responsibilities. He has been synergizing all these responsibilities together. So there has to be a relation in between all those things, and you have to understand the relations. It's not just about drawing an arrow. It's about interpreting the relation, what that might mean, and what that might generate. We will be co-designing with local communities. Most likely this will be done online now. This is from last year when we had community meetings and were doing things in physical form. This will have to be adapted to current situation. So the co-design workshops will be happening in Miro platform online. And you see this will be the local stakeholders actually co-creating that project together, because if you approach the design as a master architect, typically those things don't fit into the current situation. You know, if you don't discuss with this guy, perhaps he will not be happy with your design, and most likely he might even want to damage it or act against it. But when you co-create the project together, it is suitable for the local environment, for the local community, and it is accepted by the community as well. We will be co-creating together across the unit, and you will be building your prototypes, analyzing your prototypes, and finding relations between them. And the person, for instance, responsible for materials will suggest you what would be the good material and so on. Because we motivate the DIY iterations, the thing is we want to built from the materials you can find in the landscape. Therefore, it doesn't require primary investors, because the community in which we work is a bit deprived community. Many people don't have money, and they wouldn't join this project just maybe for the financial reason. So basically, with starting the economy and community economy from the bottom up, whoever can join with the things they find in the park and on the street. So this is actually UN's gigamap that is synergizing all different responsibilities within the team, and down here are the interpretations of the relations within these responsibilities. This would be example of gigamap of the biocorridor, mapping local species across the city, and actually finding out, because biotope is where species can live. Biocorridor is when they can migrate from one biotope to other biotope. That means that you can reach a larger biodiversity if you generate biocorridor. So Danjan here was analyzing biotopes and biocorridors and how those things can be connected, and what does that mean with species improvement. Mapping on communities and prototypes, circular economy and blockchain. That's the examples, and obviously mapping the relations between each of your interventions, so they are part of larger system, and then they generate bottom-up economy across the community, where we can integrate small local businesses and so on. Motivating DIY, that means do it yourself. When we generated a competition, when the local kids could reproduce the designed prototypes and compete for the best prototype, exchange it for some tokens for candies and things like this. So because we were not able to intervene in real life, we motivated and did used some systemic generative approach when we actually motivated the community to reproduce our co-created designs. We would interact with Twitter account, different social media, and obviously we would have blog that would be, this is a beautiful video done by Yutao Feng. If I just get to play that video, that was introducing the project to the community. Give me a second. Here you see the different prototypes and DIY recipes for reproducing that, and here would be the introduction video that was inviting the community to the project, generating empathy across the species and generating understanding why you want different species in the city, and how that community might change with actually having.
Sorry, Marie. I think we can't see the video for now.
You cannot see.
We just not yet. Now something comes up. Not yet.
I can see the video.
Yeah. Now it's working. Yeah, that's it. Yeah.
So that was sort of like how we introduced the project to the community to motivate the DIY, and then we started publishing different DIY recipes with students prototypes on actually explaining how to make those things. Can you see the video?
Not yet.
You don't see the
It
video?
will come up probably.
I can see it from the beginning. Yeah, I can see.
You can see it from
Okay.
the beginning. Okay. So that would be one example of the explanatory DIY recipe. So you will be working with videos. You can do cartoons if you are uncomfortable with doing videos. It depends on your skills and creativity and what you want to learn and what skills you want to develop. So the students actually, none of them had skills on producing videos, and they were interested into learning those things and recording the videos. So this is one example on how you reproduce. You would put the QR code on those prototypes, and people would scan the QR code and they would get to the recipes and reproduce your video. So that has been just one example. There is several of them. I will just scroll through that. You can I will send you the link to the blog, so you can actually I uploaded it to Learning Central, so you can see different examples through the Synergetic Landscapes unit on the Learning Central, and get to see. And then the students were developing different apps about learning how to use material, how to generate biocorridors. This is the example I was showing last time by Danjan Wang about biocorridors, where people were motivated for doing DIY, and they would place their reproduction with uploading the photo and generating biocorridors in their community. So you see your neighbor has already made one prototype, so you want to do that as well, and so on. So if I just get to close this and continue with my presentation. So this would be, you would be developing gigamaps about your prototypes, obviously mapping the relations and the development. That's some examples of certain prototypes. And again, saying hopefully we do physical intervention when you would place the QR code to your recipes. If not, we will more focus on interaction design and interact through different social media on how to make the people reproduce their prototypes themselves. That's about what the situation allows. I mean, we would always focus on interaction design anyway, but hopefully we will make the physical intervention in the real space, and you would be placing the QR codes to your prototype. So this discussion is about generative communities redesign, and this can be online and tangible. And though we will be online, it will be tangible, because people reproduce your prototypes, so your design will get realized, and we will interact online. So we will be combining online digital and tangible interventions with that you will be observing those interventions in real life, and based on this you will develop your thesis. So it will mean that you will reflect on reality, something I call real life co-design laboratory. You will really reflect on what you have done, and you will get lesson learned. very often many architects think that their project is over once the building is built, and that is not true. That's when the building actually really starts to be being designed, because it is redesigned and interacted with the real life community. So you will be getting your lesson learned, and maybe you will redesign your prototypes based on your reflections as well, and this will be concluded in your thesis over the summer. So thank you. That was it. Just for those of you who would be wanting taking the unit, but you will be studying remotely all the year. The thing is that then we would, based on the consultation, find a community in your neighborhood, and you would interact with your local community on wherever on the planet you are located. So that's it from me.
Perfect. Thank you so much.